Let's continue the focus on the union buildings. That's where President Cyril Ramaphosa will be hosting the German Chancellor. That's Olaf Scholz this morning. This is part of a state visit by the German Chancellor that is expected to include discussions on trade and energy, as well as South Africa's enormous challenges when it comes to the energy sector. That's among the discussions that are going to be had there. South Africa's position on the Russia-Ukraine war, and those discussions, it's understood that that is likely to come up. Let's get some detail on what's expected there. Our reporter, Phakgadi, live for us at the Union Buildings. Pelane, good morning to you. So the President, while he prepares to inspect the Guard of Honor, whenever there is a state visit, I'm sure those ministers will be lined up from the South African side alongside the German side. But just down below are the striking workers that you last saw on May the 1st, where the President could not address them. How is he likely to manage this situation?
Look, from where I'm standing currently, I can tell you that I can hear all the chants that are coming from the striking mine workers just outside of the union buildings, and of course that is just on the gardens of the union buildings. There are and have been chanting since the early hours of the morning, and they have not stopped since we have arrived here. So they are anticipating that particular visit by the German Chancellor, and perhaps just to also send a message to the President that while it could be business as usual as far as governance and government is concerned, they are continuing with their strike at Sibanye, and they will continue for as long as it can take, as they are willing to take, because now it has entered its fourth month. But nevertheless, today the President, of course, with the German Chancellor, that is Olaf Scholz, so they will be, of course, here together to interact among one another about very much important bilateral agreements, and among them, of course, is the issue now around the aviation fuel. We do know that later on the day they will be going together to the Sasol headquarters in Johannesburg, that is in Sandton rather, where they're going to be launching a consortium, a South African consortium that will advance technology research for the production of sustainable aviation fuel. So among all the challenges that South Africa currently faces as far as energy is concerned, I'm sure they want to talk about how the 600 plus companies that are German companies, of course, that are currently operating here in South Africa, how can they assist as far as development is concerned? How can they also assist as far as ensuring that they bid through the energy side of things, so that they can be able to assist the country as far as energy, sustainable energy is concerned? There also, we do understand there will be talks now, bilateral talks about the impact of which the Ukraine war has now had on not only the rest of the world, but South Africa and Germany in particular, the relations, and how they have seen the prices of commodities going just skyrocketing, and how they can be better mitigated as far as their interaction is concerned. And I think which is very much important right now, is the fact that Germany is currently holding the presidency of the G7, and I'm sure President Cyril Ramaphosa will want to understand the role of which the G7 will be playing in the developing countries, in particular South Africa and the emerging economies, so that they can be in a position to understand the bilateral relations are continuing in a beneficial manner to South Africa. You do know that Germany is one of the largest trading partners to South Africa. I'm sure they want to keep that as is, and further on continue to attract the tourism here in South Africa. So a lot of tourists do come here into South Africa from Germany in particular. But there were challenges about visas. You did hear quite a number of Germans complaining that there's just a lot to do with the visa application to coming to South Africa, and they want the political principles as well to deal with that. So yes, the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz will be here together with the President on an official state visit, and of course wrapping up that Africa trip as he of course continues in his journey to be, as becoming the Chancellor. You do know that he's just 6 months in the job currently.
Pelane, Phakgadi, thank you very much for that update live for us at the Union Buildings. Well, we are going to continue this conversation on the German Chancellor's visit to South Africa. This is the official visit to this country since he took office 6 months ago.